Welcome back to another episode of BOMM Podcast, aka Black Opinions Matter, motherfucker. I'm your host today, Blk Tray, always joined by John Jerv. And where in the world is Amina Hassan? I don't know, but on the ones and twos, we have Rob Lopez. Today in the show, we're going to talk about the usual suspects, power, Lovecraft country, possibly a little woke, I don't know. Depends how we feel. We're also going to talk about the 20-year anniversary of Shyne's debut album and how come people are just now finding out about Eddie Murphy's party all the time. What's going on, Jerv?
Not a thing, good brother. You know, I'm out here just living this dream, man. My boys is 0-2-1, so other than that, life is dandy.
So you on that good life, man. I don't even want to talk about football this week, how we got worked out. You know what I'm saying? That last decision. We shouldn't have been in the game anyway, but, you know, we don't talk sports on this podcast, so I'm going to let myself live. I'm 3-0 in that fantasy life, though, so, you know.
Shout out to you.
Hey, so this week, I was on your head on Instagram, bro. Please share this with the people, bro. I was crying, laughing, bro. You had Haven. Bro, you had a dad moment. Can you please share what happened?
So I took my daughter to what would ideally be her cousin. You know, y'all know how it is. You know, you got the homie that you've known for 20 years or whatever. So he's your brother, you know, whatever. So his son just turned 2. He's a couple months older than Haven. Had a birthday party. So I took Haven through the crib. You know, his nephew was in the building also. He can't walk. And so Haven, this was her first time meeting him, and Haven walked over to him. She was showing him love. She was getting a little frustrated because he wasn't getting up to walk. She was trying to tell him to walk, and then the two of them locked eyes, and they was about to kiss. And forgive me, I snapped, I lost it because I said no, we not doing that. You gotta chill, you gotta relax. Which y'all don't see on the video when I posted to my gram is I edited it out because young boy started crying and I felt bad.
So
like I felt super bad, bro.
I see the video and I'm just dying laughing because I just like normally people just let that innocence slide. Like it's just, they just trying to like get the feel of another body for one. The baby's having experimental like stuff. And then they don't look at it. They just kiss everything. You know what I mean? Whether it's a hand, like an arm, whatever. They can be leaning on you. And she was head on with this little boy. And Jerv moved so fast and said, hey, we not doing that. And scared the shit out of this little boy. And,
I mean, it's my bad though, bro, because it's my fault. I give my daughter a kiss. And I got to take myself out of the trash, you know, how society or whatever has made you just think everything is this, that, and the third. And understand that my daughter just knows that is how she greets people, right? Because whenever I see her, whenever her mom sees her, whenever her sister, her grandparents, they give her a kiss. And we always, you know, it just ends up being like, you know, kiss on the lips, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, oh, I love you. So for her, she's just like, oh, I'm just doing what everybody tells me to do. I'm telling the young boy what's up. But nah, dog, dad, I had a dad moment. We not kissing. You know what I'm saying? Your first kiss ain't gonna come at not before you 1.5. Like we not doing that, bro.
You're a sicko. You're gonna be so stressed the fuck out. You're gonna stress your beard out.
Bruh, listen, I already got the grays popping in the beard. It's just a matter of time. I'm not ready. I'm not 100% not ready. I'm not ready for any type of. I'm not. I thought I was gonna be cool, but at barely 1.5, I realized, I'm not cool with it. Like I talked all that shit there about, I'm just gonna have the conversation. It's gonna be all love, this, that, and the third. And then I got faced with reality, and I was like, nah, not today.
Man, you're in for a ride, man. Godspeed for that one, bro. All right, man. So let's just start one of our topics, man. Shyne's debut album, Shyne, self-entitled, came out 20 years ago, this past weekend. And I remember when this album first came out, Bad Boys with Barrington Levy, right? When that shit came out, I don't know what Barrington Levy was saying, but that shit was fire. Whoa, sweet. That shit was one of the hardest songs. And then, you know, obviously, bling bling, it's a bad boy's thing. Man, like this album was supposed to be Bad Boy's next thing going into the 2G. What were you doing when this came out, Jerv?
So I was going into college. No, I was a sophomore in college or freshman, depending on whenever. I was ending my freshman year in college, and I was I had a weird love-hate relationship for Shyne early on.
Why?
Because for those that remember, even though it was a little while, it wasn't too long after Big had passed. So when Shyne hit the scene, all everybody talked about was how his voice was very similar to B.I.'s. So it took me a while to be able to appreciate that Shyne actually had bars, that Shyne was actually nice, because all I heard was Big's voice at first. But then as you listen to him more, you realize it's really not that similar.
It was not
right?
that close.
No, but it's kind of like one of the things where you say somebody look like something, like, dang, that look like such and such, and then they get closer to you, and you like, nah, that don't look nothing like Boy, right? But I definitely fooled with Shyne, right? Like I thought Shyne was dope. I definitely was at a point. I got to a point where I was checking for Shyne. You know what I mean? You know, oh, such and such featuring Shyne. Oh, that's a dope. Let me check that song out, whatever. I banged with this album. I don't think it's a classic or anything like that, but I thought it was a solid production. It was a good debut album. He, like you said, Bad Boys was the shit. That Bonnie and Shyne joint was, you know, whatever. But I mean, you know, Shyne did his thing on this thing, man. Is this technically a Bad Boy album?
This is the Bad Boys album. He debuted in '99. Went to jail like 10 months later for the shooting in the club. He got 10 years for it. Yep. This is the infamous Rhinestone J-Lo Puffy run out.
So his second album came out when he was in jail?
Yep.
Damn,
Not
man.
under Bad Boy either. So
no, it shouldn't be. Did he ever get his publishing back? Do you know?
I don't think so. But the second album was called, it came out 4 years later, called Godfather Buried Alive. But let's focus on Shyne. So we had Bad Boys off that album. We had That's Gangsta. And we also had Bonnie and Shyne. And Barrington Levy and Shyne made a good pair. You know, the two songs that they were, you know, that Barrington was on, both were singles for him. And I don't know if it was just riding off the high of Belly or, you know, that reggae rap collab probably was hot in the streets at the time. I was 16, 17 years old. So I wasn't yet able to drink and do all the cool shit. But like New York's rap scene was very heavy and influential on both coasts at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, this, like I said, it's a solid album. I forgot about That's Gangsta. That was a dope ass song too. You know, solid debut album. It wasn't one that made you say, you know, I'm cool on dude or anything like that. It was definitely, you know, it was worth a listen. I can't tell you the last time I've listened to it. But usually when we do these type of things, I end up listening to something again like the next day, and I'm like, oh damn, that, you know, I mean, that such and such album, that joint was actually kind of all right. So I look forward to giving this joint a spin again, because I do want to relive some of these moments, man. Because like you said, Barrington Levy, I called him Levy for like years, but Barrington Levy, they had a good connection, man. And it's I want to say that Barrington was hot at this time too, right? Yeah. Like I think everybody was trying to do something with him. I would have liked to seen, you know, like you said, Shyne went to jail not too long after. I would have liked to have seen the wave, like the you know, see what they could have done. This is before everybody was doing the collabs and all them type joints, because the type of connection they had. I feel like if this was a modern day album or if it was done during like this era, they would definitely have like their collab album or something like that.
Even if he's free, he gets access to artists like DMX that's on top, Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Cash Money, the Rough Rider cats. Like, he didn't even get to experience those type of collaborations, you know? I think the second thing outside of his album, going into it, he was featured on Usher's Confessions remix, and he's like rapping over, you know, the
he killed that,
and he
too.
actually did a good job on that. So, yeah, man. I mean, it's always, you know, he's a free man now, but he can't come back to the United States. I think he's in Belize, but overall, he never recovered from that. And I think he's at peace. He doesn't want to rap anymore. Actually, Loon's home. It's just kind of crazy, the whole Bad Boy thing and how it panned out.
I just seen something with I chuckle every time I see a picture with Diddy and one of the alleged artists that we've heard that he's allegedly done wrong or whatever the case may be, man. So when I saw the who'd you just say, Loon?
Yeah.
When I saw the pictures of him and Loon, I was like, all right, you know what I mean? That's dope. And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, I hope he gave him his publishing. Like, that's all I ever be wanting when Puff pop up on the scene with somebody. I'm like, yo, just give Main Man his publishing back, bro. Like, they ain't really did too much. Let Shyne eat off of Bad Boys when they played on the radio and all that type stuff, man. Like, you don't need that.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. We got Pat, and Pat is Party All the Time. This record came out in 1985, and this is a song by comedian and actor Eddie Murphy, for those who do not know what Party All the Time is. Yes. Eddie Murphy had a single that was written and produced by Rick James. And if you get a chance, watch the video. It is one of the coolest shits ever. He just pulls up to the studio and like Rick James is just like shocked that Eddie is just getting it off in the booth. Like, I discovered this song roughly like 8 years ago. Like, I didn't even know it even existed, bro. I stumbled upon it like accident, and then I was just kind of like jamming to it. But seeing the video, I lost it. And now, the reason why I'm bringing it up now is that 35 years later, Twitter, Generation Z is just now finding out about this. So what do you think about that?
So, you know, when... It's weird because I guess me personally I'm just like a couple years older than you, but I feel like I look older than you, so I get the old head treatment a lot more than you get the old head treatment. So for me, I find it hilarious when what are they, Gen Z? When this Gen Z repopulate something that that we grew up on, whether it be hairstyles, like, you know what I'm saying, when everybody was getting boxes and all them type joints again. And then, you know, when you see these type tracks pop up and then it's like, you know, they like it. It's funny because my parents would say the same thing to me when I was a young boy. Like, you know, anything that we did, whether it be fashion, music, whatever it was, oh, well, such and such did this, or such and such is sampling, oh, that's an Ozzy Brothers song he's sampling, right. Or, you know, whatever. So it honestly, it makes me laugh because it just makes me realize that, like, I'm old, right? Like, I'm entering that phase of my life where I am a parent, and, you know, there's going to be, fast forward 8-10 years from now, when Haven's listening to whatever music she likes, like, somebody's going to sample, I don't know, they're going to sample a Timbaland track. And well, shit, Khaled does that now.
I mean, Pop Smoke did Cheers to You by Player.
Yeah, like we're at that age, so it's funny seeing this. It's funny seeing it pop up. I'll say that I found it cool that it made me listen to it again. It low key slaps. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a lot better than that other song he did with Michael Jackson years later.
Okay. What you talking about?
I think so. I think that okay. Yeah. But you know what, man? It also watching the video makes me think of the Chappelle Show. Like that shit, yeah. It looks like the Chappelle skit. No, it
definitely looks like a skit for sure.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like a lot of illegal things might have been on that set at that point in time in life.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It was definitely Rick James parties in there going on. If you don't know about that, it's a lot of skiing, allegedly. But yeah, man, I think it just kind of goes hand in hand, like you said, with just like us even discovering when we were younger, the originals. I remember hearing I Can't Stand the Rain, the original, for the first time, and then going back and hearing Missy shit, and I'm just like, wow. Like, or just anything. Like, when you think about it, I've made plenty of playlists where I've like really went back to the original. It's like, the original is way more fire than this rap shit on the top. So, I mean, it's been going on for the longest. I wouldn't want to hear anybody remake Party All the Time. But it's pretty cool that, you know, both generations are meeting. And I think that's the same thing with sequels of movies. You know, we got Bill and Ted, potentially Coming to America 2. We got, like, you know, just like sequels that deserve to be reunited with the groups. I mean, I would have loved to see another Friday just off the rip. If the original cast would have came back, you know, John Witherspoon, you know, end up passing. But, yeah, you know, it just needs to happen. So I'm glad that they're getting hip. It's kind of similar to those little boys finding out about Phil Collins, Feel It in the Air, or I Can Feel It, whatever the name's actually the title of it. But yeah,
you said you wouldn't want to see anybody redo it. I probably wouldn't, but I could see like Aubrey or somebody doing some shit, or like a Chris Brown. And that shit just being a slap, bro. I mean, one thing I've learned about music, good music stands the test of time. So if good music came out in 70, you can play that same song in 2000, 2020, and it's still going to slap, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't want anyone to remake the song, because I would like for people to just be original and you know, do their own thing. But I don't think it would be the end of the world. And quite honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody remade this genre. It just can't be certain people. Like, I don't want to see dude with the red hat make this shit, because I want to be able to enjoy the song.
Yeah. Nah, he won't touch it. I don't think he'll touch it at all. He's not focused on that. He's too busy wearing whack ass Jordans outside of his Adidas contract. So yeah, I'm not gonna spend too much time on that guy. Nah, we good. You know, all board seats matter. All right, all board seats matter. Yeah, so let's get into why we here. The things that we have to talk about so we don't get fined. What do you want to talk about, Lovecraft, or you want to talk about Power first?
Depends. You want to start off good or bad?
I mean,
listen.
I don't see too much good on this, but go for it.
We can do Lovecraft first, because that's some. Yo, she's pregnant, dog.
Hey man, she's having visions. So let's talk about Lovecraft, right? We find out that, you know, Letty is having these visions, and everyone still has everyone's having the same dream. So Atticus has had the dream, Letty's had the dream, the same fiery hallway, you know, and they're just each one has a different result. They both engulf in flames, you know, but they're stopped by their ancestor at the door. And she's telling them something, but like they haven't caught on yet until this episode. So Letty wakes up, she's grabbing her belly because she's set on fire. She notices that her stomach is big. And yeah, she dies in the dream and wakes up and is just kind of very calm, but tells Atticus. And Atticus points out that it's the Book of Names. Now, of course, every week we're always like, what the fuck is going on in this show? If you have not noticed a pattern, each episode has represented a different chapter in this quote unquote book of Lovecraft Country. While they're figuring out that they have to get their hands on the Book of Names, Letty's sister is it Rudy? I think that's her name. Anyways, oh
my bad.
Nah.
Ruth.
Okay, Ruth.
Yeah.
So
I had my shit on mute.
Nah, it's all good. I thought I was tripping. So Ruth, you know, finds out that her quote unquote lover is actually the chick. And now she's been told the truth and is now in on whatever the main goal is, whether it's to get the truth out of Letty or find out where this piece is, because she's kind of eavesdropping on Letty when she's on the phone calling Tick, who goes to St. Louis to find out some information about his ancestor. But before that, his uncle's wife, which is his aunt, takes the car to go find out the truth that what happened to her husband, but discovers something else, right? And with that discovery, she goes and she finds out this whole, it looks like a time traveling machine or something like that. I have no clue, but she finds out how to work it. And when she gets there, somehow Tick finds her. Like, he just has the coordinates to find her. But
come on.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on in this space. So we're there, and yeah, like 2 white cops show up and they're trying to show it off to each other, I guess, or one of the cops is trying to show it off. And Tick is Batman in this particular case, handing out pals and knocking guys out, and you know, and eventually activates the machine, throws one guy into another dimension, but then also I can't even, what was she calling herself?
Which she was called,
it's her name.
I forget.
But Atticus calls her something else. But she discovered herself through this time travel, which was really weird. She ended up in some space room with a robot or alien that had an afro that was trying to get her to self-learn or figure it out. She was repeated. It reminded me of a Black Mirror episode. But it also was like she was tested in these situations by, I don't know if it's an alien specimen or whatever it was. And they said, "Who are you?" or "Where would you want to be right now?" She said she wanted to dance with Josephine Baker in Paris. And she warped there. Yeah. And sooner or later, she picked it up and she became the head woman in charge over there, kind of secondhand to Josephine. And then she warps to a whole nother world where she's an African warrior princess, or, you know, I don't even know how to define that, because she actually tells Josephine Baker that she wants to kill white man. And, you know, she gets her chance, you know, but then also she becomes, like, after becoming a warrior and learning how to fight, she's at peace. So after that, she finds herself in space. And then she has to make the choice of, does she want to live in this world or does she want to go back to the normal world? Now, she hasn't returned after she says she needs to go home to her baby girl. But, you know, we get back to the point of, you know, Tick coming back and Tick leaving a clue that may kind of go into the next episode, which was from that, he didn't leave the clue, but the auntie did. It was the drawing from their daughter, which had her autograph, her signature on it, you know. So that may lead to the cops kind of harassing her. But Tick pretty much got out of there, you know. But yeah, what was your overall thoughts on this episode?
I thought it was up to par with everything that I've thought about this show, probably since episode 1 or 2. I thought it was super weird. I have an issue with any type of show where people just show up to save the day. Like, I hate that shit. Like, I get it. That's what we got to do. You know, I think it's lazy, but I thought it was hilarious how this place where, you know, we're 7 episodes in with this one, we have yet to see the location where she went. They had the time travel, but what's her name? What's his name? Tick. Mm-hmm. Tick. And old girl, the one that's pregnant. It was like they when they were talking, they all top know where she's at, right? They're like, you think she's about to get herself into something that she doesn't even know she's into. Well, how do y'all know? Y'all haven't been to this location either, mm-hmm. right? So that was a beef. The cops annoyed the hell out of me because it's like, yo, y'all got guns. Like, why y'all letting dude come in and, like, to use your word, why y'all let him be Batman, right? Like, he's out here doing pow, kick, this, and y'all got guns. Like, it should just be bang. Yeah. And it's over with, especially during that era. Like, I'm not trying to make light of what it is because it's a very, real thing and it's something that still impacts our people to this day. But like, it was real ruthless back then with no cameras and shit. So I'm just wondering why they chose to fight, And then I wanted them to do a little bit more. What's Omar's name? His pop.
Montrose.
Yeah, I wanted them to do a little bit more. I felt like they rushed that interaction when his son finds out that he's gay, and clearly this is something that was major in his life because, to use his words, he was always beating him because he didn't want him to be soft and this, that, and the third. And I felt like, yo, you know what? When that was happening, I was like, yo, this might be a dope episode. They can tap into something that's a hot topic. Maybe shed some light on it to ease people's or to change people's perspectives or whatever the case may be. And they just kind of brushed past it and just went straight sci-fi on me. And I was, it started off okay to me because I was like, oh, I bet, hey, here we go. This is something that's modern day. We can tap in on this, and then they can, put a spin on it to show that people should respect, how other people feel, and he can have a come to for lack of a better phrase, a come to Jesus moment and be like, apologize to his son for how he treated him, and it's just like, nah, fuck that. Dude.
Yeah, they kind of breeze. We want to have they breeze by. They breeze by it. I don't even know if Letty actually told the truth. I think she was trying to breeze by it because she knew how Tick felt. But it was a teachable moment. I think it was mixed reviews from it because, obviously, in a different climate, this is supposed to be based in the 40s and 50s. Tick uses a slur, and it offends his father, and obviously, he finds out, because in the early episodes, the guy that they gave a ride to the museum, or when they went to that museum, he said, that his dad and the other dude was getting close, but he didn't know how to take it. He was just kind of curious about it. Like he didn't know, he was just brushing it off because he's like, no way, man, like my dad was with my mom. So when he actually caught, Montrose and his lover walking out, like trying to stop him from leaving, he was holding his hand. He didn't embarrassingly let his hand go. He was kind of more comfortable with who he was, but his son was just in awe that he had witnessed that. And, with Atticus reacting the way he did, he called him out his name, and then he asked him, did his mother know? And he said, yes. And then he storms out, and obviously he has this moment where he has to like regroup, and Letty's there, and Letty's like trying to comfort him and console. But the teachable moment was like, instead of the father just being honest and accepting who he was, he took his frustration and anger out on his son by beating him, saying, you can't be soft and you can't be this way. You know what I mean? And here he is, and not associating, that being, associating, his sexuality with being soft. It just was more so like, it could have been handled differently, but in that climate, I'm pretty sure he had to hide in order so that he wouldn't be killed or murdered or, live a double life. And I'm pretty sure he was struggling with that as well, for Montrose to accept that, like that he no longer loved Atticus' mom anymore, and it still hasn't said anything about her cause of death. Maybe she took her life. You never know, through all the pressures of all that scenario, but good acting, overall. But it, typically it's just kind of all over the place. You kind of have to really see the Easter eggs, and it bounced from place to place. Like even Atticus discovering the same mark he had on his body that his family member had. We really didn't tap into it. So hopefully we get some more answers moving on. We got 3 more episodes to go. Thank God for Jerv, so Jerv can be done with this show. But I'm still in. And I'm hopeful. I'm just trying to get an overall feedback from it. I don't know if I would rewatch this with somebody else, but I do respect the cinematography, and how it's shot, and how well the actors are playing in this role.
I mean, they do a lot of breezing by things because, what was it? Whenever his uncle died, and his pop and his uncle have that conversation, which makes you believe that he's actually his uncle's son and not really his pop's son.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like that was episode 3 and we're on episode 7, and they have yet to revisit that. So even though I have terrible reviews, and it's not my cup of tea, but I would like for them to at least reward me personally for sticking this thing out and just putting a button on a couple things, man. Like, let me know if he really is his uncle's son. You know what I mean? Like, let me know that, dive deep, maybe dive a little deeper into his childhood since we're revisiting everything else. We went, what was that? Not Nam. Was that Nam? Oh no, that was Korea. We went to Korea. we did this, we did that. So, I feel like they owe us an episode on him as a kid now, so that he can kind of put a button on whatever it was that happened to him as a kid. But if anything shows me on these first 7 episodes, they're not going to do that, and I'm just going to be frustrated.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our favorite show, Ghost. We don't even call it Power no more. It's just Ghost. Previously Ghost, on Ghost. I like that, by the way. So we got my main man, Tariq, man. Where do we start, man? This dude is one of the brightest dudes ever. How they got him going. Like, bro, he's like the MacGyver, bro, of college students. He can finesse anything. What did you see out there?
He is... I think it was it Waz last week that said that he's not, like, he's growing on you now. And I gotta admit, like, I don't really mind Tyreek anymore, bro. Like, I'm not necessarily rooting for dude, but I'm also not sitting here every episode hoping he gets killed like I was in Power, right? I thought this was believe it or not, I thought this was a very solid episode. It definitely had its power moments, i.e., when Mary J and her son are stepping to the homies, and he calls her, what do he call her? Punta. And she says, "What did you call me?" And he says it again, and then main man just hooks off on him. Like, all right, I get it. They the plug. They super duper connected. I get all that, right? Trust me. I don't know firsthand, but I know enough how the streets work, right? I know that when you the man and you plugged in and all that type of stuff, you can get away with a lot of shit that the common man can't get away with. But I'm sorry, homie's locked up, right? Y'all head dude is just getting not stomped out. He's getting his door knocked off of him, right? And y'all just staying there all because she says I wouldn't do that. It's like 8 of y'all, dog. While she got the hammer pointing on him, point one on her.
Kane must be a beast.
He must be
a beast for them to stand down. They just let him beat his face into a pulp. But Monet run these streets. I think Monet is gonna get her hands full and get kind of killed off probably. No time soon, but eventually. So Tariq does a good job, has a system going, very smart, started up a tutor business, figured out how to sell weed, pills, uppers, downers, and also, find a system to even tutor people. And now is getting to a point where he's got a system. He got his boy working, got everybody else involved. Shit is going sweet. I don't trust his white homie. His homie seems like he can pillow talk and give up the wrong goods soon.
He's definitely ratting.
But we got the other brother supposed to be spying on Tariq. He goes and spies, but also finds a new love interest. Which, I mean, did you see that coming?
I I didn't see it coming until homie said whatever he said to him, and then the way he looked at him, I was like, all right, well, they about to get it in.
They about to be
right?
interested in each other, right?
Yeah.
It was just too...
By the way, there was a lot of getting it in this episode. Like, this was heavy on the sex scenes, bro.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't technically have sex, but he got close. You know, he went and followed up and went to go see homie at his dorm room. But
for sure,
yeah, it started off with him losing track of what he was supposed to do. And I don't know if that's going to help in Monet's eyes, because she's kind of soft on her son. She wants him to take over the business. The dad wants him to take over the business, but the dad probably has zero clue that, you know, his son doesn't want to do this. He's not a tough guy. He is a lover, literally. So,
by the way, he looks like he's super duper talented in the art game.
Listen, I'm pretty sure he abandoned all their kids except Kane. Kane is the one who really is about that life, and everybody else just wants to have a normal life. And mom is just like, nope. This is a family business, and she doesn't want anybody to leave the house. That's what she said. No matter, you know, when he was taking a shower, no matter what man it is, you always come home. You know, so she technically already knew. Yeah, once she seen the drawing, she just, you know, she love him. You know what I mean? But like, she gonna keep it a secret. But to the point of, look, man, I still need you to do what you need to do. You feel me? You know. So then we got the teacher. He's killing me right now. I really want this story to be killed off.
I hate dude, bro.
You know, Mark Lamont Hillface. I didn't give him that name, by the way. So if you let Mark know, no, it's just hilarious.
I forget who said that.
I think it was Amin or Waz. I don't know, but
it probably was Waz. That sounds
long
some
story
shit.
short, man, his horny ass got to chill. He's just wilding.
Bro, he was about to, you just made me. He was about to smash the youngin.
Like, oh, for dinner?
Like,
she like, yeah, you can go to my parents' house. He like, then.
But yo, bro, he was still low key with it when she said her parents.
Yeah, because he just thought he was gonna, you know, finesse.
Oh my god.
Yeah, hey, man. He's a wild dude. He ain't got no heat on him. And I'm still trying to fit where he belongs in all of this for Tariq. You feel me? Because he ain't did nothing that involves like their little sexcapade. You know, the counselor or whoever that's supposed to be sexually addicted to sex, and then you got this situation. It is not like, it's not lined up. Like, it don't even belong in this. I don't get it. I'm trying to I'm waiting. Y'all said that Tariq gonna get the buns. I don't see it. He got way too much on his plate. Like, now he feeling like he a certified lover boy, and he got the two shorties, but he ain't even made a pass at the teacher. The teacher has been like caping for him, but she ain't made a pass at him. You know what I mean? To that point, you know what I'm saying? But she just set herself up every time. She confronts dude locks the door, and she gets horny. It's like, I don't get that part and why it's written in. Like, are they trying to sell soft porn? I don't know. Yeah, man. And I think how, you know how they always zoom in on Kane and he gives that like crazy ass look. I think he's on pace to turn on Monet or whoever it may be or make a wild decision. Like, he's going to make one of those calls on his own. That's going to really put them in deep shit. You know what I'm saying? That's going to get the dad in trouble or somebody.
I could see him getting killed 100%. Right, like exactly what you're saying. He does too much. Probably goes and makes a drop or something like that. And you know, it's only so many times you get to talk greasy, dog. Like, yo, here you go. Mike Tyson got knocked out, bruh. If Mike Tyson can get knocked out, anybody can get knocked out. Anything can happen to anybody. So, I think he dies. I'm with you. I'm over the teacher dude. I'm all for anybody getting their rocks off, man. You know, I believe people should live and just enjoy life, man, whatever. But man, I'm not for the creepness. Yeah. And homie's a certified creep, and I can't bang with him, and I can't bang with the counselor because she knows he's a creep, and somehow, some way, she's still getting turned on by bull. even though you just got on him for sleeping with his graduate assistant, and you know damn well he was about to try and sleep with that little girl. So, but yo, shout out to her for having a whole situation. She reminds me of Nunu.
Oh, you talking about her family and everything?
ATL.
Well, I don't think she was never. I don't think she never fronted on like her upbringing.
No, I just meant more so. She seems like the type that fucks with Tariq because Tariq is clearly
more her speed. Her speed. Like, yeah, she's
right.
Yeah, cause,
and then the you know, no disrespect, but her boyfriend, he looked like he is square.
He's on paper who her parents wanted to have to be with. So I'm pretty sure that's an arranged relationship. So she liked the bad boy type, the slick talk, but Tariq also got the street smarts and the book smarts. He got a little bit. He all around. You feel me? But in that scenario, yeah, man, he got him some shorties, you know, and he also got the shit lined up. But it's definitely interesting. It's a lot of these storylines that can be killed off. Tasha on the phone killed me. I don't know how burner phones work in jail, but yeah,
she using that thing a little too freely, right? Like I feel like they use it a little bit more discreetly than she using it in jail.
Yeah, she was real cozy like in there, you know what I mean? Like to a point where, you know, like she texting where the gun at. She talking real loud, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, I already know you're gonna get yourself killed, you know, and all this other stuff. Which is, hey man, I know it's TV and I'm not trying to like treat it like it's gonna be the best show ever, but come the fuck on, bro.
Bro, when they showed her doing the push-ups,
that gotta go. That gotta go too.
Get the fuck out of here, yo! Like nothing about Tasha says, yo. I just did a quick 50 burger. Yeah,
she did a hot. She did a hot 20. She got to get up out of here. I'm all set.
Bro, she like why doesn't you know what, man? Why doesn't I mean? I guess it's because Ghost isn't alive, but I feel like Tasha should have protection. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like her husband was too connected.
He ain't had no connections though. He only had Tommy after a while.
Tommy.
Everybody else was dead, Tommy bro.
Gone. Tommy's gone and she ratted on Tommy.
So he out of there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, with all these hoops and hollers, like it's a lot of shit that can be pulled from this shit and used on some real space. Tyreek is still always late. Like that's gonna be the funny part. You know, moving into the next episode, I do see. You know, they brought Tate in, but like Tate was no help. He was just being a bitch ass nigga.
I'm cool.
Yeah, I mean, he never was a likable character anyway. Even Method Man's banging his assistant or whoever she is, whatever she serves to him. You know what I mean? And he's married. He got his ring on the side and shit. So it was like
oh, that's not who he's married to?
That's why she was telling him like, don't forget your ring. Your wife gonna get mad. And he came back and kissed her like, I'm sorry. And she's like, don't. But, you know, they got like a joint account together and everything. He living a whole separate life. So everybody dirty on this show. What's your predictions for next week?
Next week, I think that this dude Sax is fucking annoying, and now he's got his niece in there. Clearly his niece is going to catch Tyreek doing something. So I think next week, for as thorough as Tyreek has been, I think next week is the week that Tyreek fucks up somewhere. And whether it be Sax, he gets in issues and allows Sax to gain some leverage, or whether it be, you know, Mary Jane, all them, him doing too much with her. You know what I mean? But bottom line is I think next week Tyreek messes up. I think he does end up starting to get his relationship on with Monet's daughter. Mm-hmm. I think that's who he actually because I think next week is the week where she kind of falls for him. Mm-hmm. Also, like falls for him, because I mean, it was clear as day. It was about to go down if boy don't knock on the door. I mean, it's a college dorm. They in there by themselves. You know what I mean? They kids. That's just what happens. So I think next week we see Tyreek make a mistake, but we also see him get closer with Monet's family and everything like that. So yeah, Tyreek makes a mistake next week and sets up Sachs or Monet and them to take advantage of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen a little bit of the previews and stuff like that, and Diana shows up to a party and Tyreek fronts on her with other baby. And
which one's Diana?
Diana's daughter.
Diana's Monet's daughter.
Monet's daughter, yeah. But she's pretty much Monet's trying to tell her to play Tyreek, or kind of get some more information out of him. Like, you got this boy in the palm of your hands, but Tyreek's actually smarter than that. You feel me? So, somebody gonna actually die this episode, next episode. Well, that looks like that's the end of the episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we find Amin and Waz next week. This has been another episode of Black Opinions Matter. For John Jerv, for Rob Lopez, for Amina Hassan, and Wazni Lambre. We'll talk to you guys next week.